Molweni, welcome to Quiet Reads. Today's confessions are about the $100 that saved me for 2 weeks and the time I stole from work. 2 years ago, my partner and I were barely surviving. The pandemic had gutted our hours at work. We were living paycheck to paycheck, and when payday finally came, we would pull everything we had together. After rent and mandatory bills, we had exactly $100 left. That was it. For 2 entire weeks. That $100 had to cover our food and bill, which meant if we wanted to eat, we'd be losing our phones for 2 weeks. No communication, no internet, just silence and rice. I remember walking through the grocery store that day with this heavy sinking feeling in my chest. I was counting every single item, doing the math in my head, adding and re-adding on my phone's calculator like some kind of desperate accountant. Rice, beans, eggs, pasta, nothing fresh, everything canned, just fuel to keep us alive. I kept thinking, please let this be enough. Please don't let my card decline. When I finally got to the checkout line, there was a woman in front of me with 2 completely full shopping carts. I mean, it was overflowing. The envy I felt in that moment. She was almost done checking out when she suddenly stopped the cashier. What is something about sales tax not applying to her because she was affiliated with a Canadian church or something? I didn't fully understand it, but it became this whole thing. The cashiers had to shuffle her to another register to figure it out. Acting as if I'm minding my own business, I placed my items on the counter. She scanned quickly, finished ringing everything up and said, "You can swipe your card," and immediately turned around to observe the situation as well. I stood there with my card in hand, staring at the card reader, waiting for it to prompt me. It never did. Instead, the screen just said, "Thank you for shopping with us." I blinked. I looked at the cashier's back. I looked at the screen again. I blinked again. She turned around, handed me my receipt and said, "Have a great day." I hadn't swiped my card. I hadn't paid. What is going on? Trying my best not to look weird, my heart pounding in my chest, I took my cart and walked right out, never looked back, not even once. Knowing I should have said something. I know I should have, but I didn't. I told myself, they'll be fine. This is a huge corporation. My items didn't even make it to the 400. When we got paid 2 weeks later, things were still tight for us, but we survived. I never went back to that store, nor did that sort of thing ever happen to me again. I don't believe in God, but I do feel like the universe saw my desperation and decided to give me a quick little nudge. And if you're wondering, no, I never told my partner, and I don't know why. It all started with a single pen. I was 3 months into my first real job out of college. 23 years old, living in a city I could barely afford, making $32,000 a year. After rent, utilities, student loans, and groceries, I had maybe $200 left each month for everything else. You know, for life. I was broke, constantly. One afternoon, I was in the supply closet grabbing something from my manager, and I saw this pen. It wasn't just any regular cheap pen. It was one of those smooth, expensive gel pens that glide across paper like butter, the kind that makes even terrible handwriting look elegant. I picked it up, I looked around, and slipped it in my pocket. No one saw, no one cared. It was just a pen. So the very next week, I took another one, then a legal pad, post-its, stapler, more pens, paper, binder clips, highlighters. Listen, I took what I could fit in my bag. It became a game to my boring life. Excitement in being underpaid, a test. What can I take without anyone noticing? Then it dawned on me. I can take this outside the supply closet. I went to the communal snack bin. Granola bar, soda, candy, chips, nuts, raisins, anything and everything, including toilet paper. Yep, toilet paper. Someone left an umbrella by the door and never came back for it. Guess what? I took that. A phone charger that had been sitting in a drawer for months. Yep, I took that too. If you left something and never inquired about it within 3 working days, chances are I took it and now it belongs to me. Over the course of 2 years, I probably stole hundreds of office supplies. I furnished my entire home office with company property. I have mugs with our corporate logo. But you want to know what's worse? I got promoted. I got a raise. So why was I still stealing? I kept taking things, not because I needed them. I mean, it's not like I was stealing those pens earlier because I needed an endless supply of pens. I did it because I was hungry and bored. Because I could. Because now this was my routine. I wasn't Robin Hood redistributing wealth. I was just a petty thief with a key card and a LinkedIn profile stealing post-its like some kind of low-level kleptomaniac. I quit that job 6 months ago, started at a fresh new company. I haven't taken a single paper clip since. But I still have a drawer full of stolen supplies at home. Sometimes I think about throwing it all away, but I don't. Maybe because getting rid of it would mean admitting what I did. And quite frankly, I'm not ready for that. Or maybe I just really like that stapler. Either way, I know what I am, and I don't feel good about it. Folks, that's all I have to confess today. I'll see you back here on Sunday. Until then, sip some tea and enjoy the rain. Bye.